Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, Nim fam. I hope you guys are all good. It is finally deadline day. Woohoo! It feels like it's been absolutely forever and ever and ever. Like the longest game week ever. Who's been FPLing it? Who's been chilling it? Who's been watching a bit of the NFL? Let me know, let me know. And I guess the title of this stream is whether to get JOTA or KDB for me. However, with some of the news we're getting through on the press conferences, I guess it really should be whether to get Haaland, JOTA, or KDB for me. So yeah, there's plenty for me to be chatting about in this particular stream. And hopefully I can help you guys out as well. So if you have any questions, chuck them in the chat. Let's see what we can do with it. I am a bit mind boggled, to be honest. So as you guys will know, I've been doing incredibly well this season. I got right up pretty much to about 40k, and that was the week that I ended up benching Palmer. And pretty much from that moment in time, my rank has been slipping. It's been dipping. It's been dipping. I ain't been doing too good. And the problem I have this week is that any transfers I make will cause another one of those big benching headaches. So I am very much going to be in the kind of, let's try work this out, see what we can do. Is there a way that I can kind of figure this out so that I can not end up pretty much benching too many points? Now, you might say to me, leave the team as it is and don't bench any of your big stars. I mean, as it is, I'm already benching Saliba, which I don't feel particularly great about, if I'm completely honest with you guys. However, obviously, we'll go through the presses now in a second. We've had some updates and some news about some people coming back and what that might mean. So, yeah, obviously I have an injured Salah on my bench as well, which could free up a fair bit of the old casheroonies. And yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. Anyone I get in for Salah this week is going to mean I'm stuck between pretty much benching Solanke or Palmer, it looks like. And I don't love the idea of benching either of those, if I'm completely honest with you guys. So there may be a few polls happening. Let me know if you've got both of them, what you guys are planning to do with your team, and whether or not you're gonna do them. But the main reason my team is going to have a transfer is because I have 2 free transfers. So in the last stream we did, which felt like forever ago, I know, we rolled a transfer. So this team does have 2 transfers, and it doesn't have very much in the bank, to be honest, which is mainly my issue, because there's not a single way to get to Haaland easily without pretty much selling Trent or Salah. And without knowing the Liverpool double news, that tends to be a bit of a dilemma for me. That is where the problems are cropping up for my team anyway. But do get your questions in. I'm much better at giving advice than I am of taking my own advice. So hopefully I can help you guys out. But let's just say some hellos to the chat before we get into the presses. Hey Bryn, how you doing, buddy? Patrick, hey, sorry, I was running a few minutes late. Not been too great this week, on another lot of antibiotics, would you guys believe it? I mean, just one thing after another at the moment, so, just bear with. Welcome, Charles. Darwin and only Darwin is my captain. He is about to ignite. Wow, you heard it here first, Nimfam. Yeah, we were building castles in the sky, you know how it is. Hey, Glory. Hey, Nim, hope you're well. Glad to catch some of your stream live. Yeah, how you doing, lovely? I wildcarded last game week. I was at 2.2 million and I got Whoa, that's a nice wild card. Well done, buddy. Whenever I wild card, I tend to get like less points, not more points. Well done. JOTA is my savior. Interesting. JOTA may be coming in. Hello, can you guys see me? Is it working now? Are we working? Hopefully you guys can see me again now. I've no idea what just happened there. Hopefully you're still with me. I have never had that happen to me in all my time of doing content creating. That was a bit scary. Yeah, welcome back. I think we're good. Are we good? Can you see me again? Let me get the chat back. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, so apparently the software just quit on me. That's all it says. I've no idea why. So yeah, I apologise for that. But I don't know now why you guys can't see the... Hey, I'm back. Woohoo! Sorry about that. Oh, we were doing all right there for viewers as well. Bear with me while I try and figure out why the chat is not working. That was fun. We had some little gremlins there, didn't we? Let me see. Let me try pop you out again and see if that works. Let me see if that works. 2 seconds. See, at least you know it's live. At least you know I'm coming at you live. Otherwise it'd be perfect, wouldn't it? Be all perfect. Right. No, it just doesn't want to give you the chat. Doesn't want to give it to you guys. No idea why. All right then. So we'll just have to vibe without the chat, I guess. No idea why though. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, let's get on to the presses. Below should be the chat, but since the software broke on me, I have no idea. So let's get on with the presses. So let's have a look and see if we've got any real update news going on, some stuff to help us. I have already heard that we have got some bits and pieces, so this should be an interesting read. I'm just going to scroll right down. So we had start today, shall we? Gomez remains out for the Toffees. No Fatty return for Brighton. Where are we at? Villa should be a similar squad to Friday night. No major movement expected in the treatment room. Jacob Ramsey is doubtful, but the midfielder is closest of those currently recovering from injury. Pau Torres, Lucas Digne is out, and Ramsey is doubtful. Colwell is an early doubt for the trip to Anfield, although the defender will not be sidelined for long. That's good news for anyone with Colwell. Forest Trio nearing their return. That's interesting. Okay. Gusto and Nkuku can be in the squad tomorrow, so that's good for me with Gusto on the bench. Not that I was planning to play him, but it's always good to have him back. Team news from Ange ahead of the game, and those guys aren't available on Lo Celso and Sessegnon, but it's the same as the last game. Solomon has had a couple of setbacks. He had another one this week. We're getting Sessegnon. Okay. So I guess Egypt got knocked out. Yeah, so this this is interesting. So Egypt got knocked out. So that means that Salah is now available, which I kept Salah. So I was kind of hoping I was a bit of a step ahead there. But obviously because of the injury, now we're in a bit of a confusion. Klopp says not ready for this game or the next. An initial timeline suggests 3 to 4 weeks. So that's why I'm considering selling. It's a muscle injury and it could have been much worse. That suggests that he could come back a bit sooner. It's always difficult. The most important news is almost a full squad of fit, Pep told reporters. We don't have any injuries. Kanji is back, training well. So Pep is saying there are no injuries. So that suggests straight away that Haaland is fine. John Stones as well. That's the best news. He's happy. Stones is back with obviously Champions League around the corner. And this is the interesting one. Erling Haaland is in contention for the Burnley game. Apparently he will be selected. This is the first time he is back. Erling is an important player for us, 2 months out, but he feels good. We have a training session today, but apparently tomorrow he will be with us. So that is the news we've all been waiting for, and that might dictate where my transfers go today. Now, I don't think that potentially, it doesn't lock down a start for Haaland, but the fact that he's with the squad and that he's available for the squad makes him, this could be the time to sell Salah for me, free up the funds and get Haaland back in. This is where it gets interesting for me. Do I do that? Do I do it by a Salah or do I do it by a Trent? I don't really want to lose either with not knowing about that Liverpool double. But I think since City play, so this is really good by JC Spaceman. Make sure you go give them a follow. The good thing... Oh, hang on. This is the predicted one. I wonder if he's done the updated one for us. Oh, and it's probably not gonna let me go. Let me go to the... Gone too far now, haven't I? I've gone too far. Just gone too far, lads. If you're new to the channel, guys, really appreciate it. Would love it if you could pop a subscribe on the channel. What's our next hallmark? I think it's 7,200. That'd be awesome to get to. So we're 7,104. So anyone watching is new and you're happy to give a sub, I would be so grateful for that. What probably won't... Will it not let me... Let's just go this way then. You're going to be awkward about it. We'll go this way. Oh, it's just the predicted. We've not done an... I'm sure I saw an updated one. I am sure I saw an updated one. Ah, here it is. So, well, it's big. Basically, without knowing the Liverpool double, so this is complete credit to FPL Spaceman, and the predictions came from Planet FPL Pod and FPL Team, so make sure you follow those guys. The main thing about Haaland, for me, is that City will play, so you're probably better off the smaller view actually, because you can see, there you go, you can actually see what that means, can't you? You can see like the doubles and stuff. So City will double in 25, they will play in 29 and play in 26. So for those of us that are not planning to use our free hit chip in 26, which it seems to be less of a kind of a potential at the moment for most FPL managers, that's a good thing. The other thing I'm really loving with this is Tony. I would love Ivan Toney in my team, but I don't think he'll come in just yet. As much as I really want to do it. Although we'll have a little play around in a minute and see what I can do with these 2 free transfers, even if it means taking a hit. So even if it means taking a hit, I may see what I can do in order to get Tony in, because I like the fact that, like, basically he doubles in 25, he plays in 29, and he plays in 26, and the guy is pretty much fixture proof, isn't he? Let's be honest. So yeah, would you believe so yeah, and that's really helpful. So make sure you go give FPL's Basement a follow. But we are waiting on Liverpool because they could slip into where City are. And I think Ben did say we may hear before this deadline, but I mean, we're at 3 o'clock now, we're in a few hours away. I don't think it's coming. Genuinely, I'm not sure it's coming. So Luton is the interesting one for me as well. Anyway, just back to the presses for now. Make sure we cover everything before we have a little tinker and answer some questions. We want to get back to this. Norgard is involved in the squad tomorrow for Brentford, which is good for Tony. And his injury is not as bad as initially feared. Missed the FA Cup defeat with Wolves and the win over Tottenham. Right, that's us all up to date. I'm going to pop over to my team, leave that on screen for you guys, and I'm going to say hello to you guys in the chat again. Sorry for disappearing there for a few seconds. Hopefully you're back with me. For once I thought it was my internet. Yeah, literally, I'm so embarrassed. That's never happened to me. Like, the software just shut down on all of my screens. I've got 3 screens and they all just went blank. And I was like, can anyone still see me? What's going on? Where do we go? Like, what is happening here? So yeah, I was a bit scary. Flappers, is it better to go Garnacho or Palmer? So, good question. So Palmer will blank, right? If I'm pretty sure, yeah, pretty sure that he doesn't play in 26. But I'm a little bit kind of, do I really want to miss out on players' points just because they blank in 26? So I guess it's working out whether or not, Flap, you want to use many more of those transfers between now and 26. So if you are going to need those transfers, then maybe going with somebody like a Garnacho might be more helpful for you. However, if you feel you can get to 26, make some of those, hop along transfers, then I prefer Palmer. I mean, I say that as somebody who may end up benching him this week, which I don't know if I can do. Like, psychologically, I don't know if I can go through that again, guys. Genuinely, like, can I? I don't know if I can. I'm gonna see if it'll let me add this again and see if it'll. Just literally no idea why it's done this. So mad. So strange. Never done that before, ever. Just going to quickly see if I can add this in again. I mean, it's a little different. It's a little different. Hang on, 2 secs. I got it though, lads. I got it. We got it. We got it working. Now we just have to copy over the... You're getting a bit of behind the scenes stuff going on, yeah? Should be charging all my money, showing you how it's all done. You're like, just chat FPL. Why are you faffing about the chat? It's just something that I feel like I have to sort out. I just need to sort it out, man. It's annoying me. It's annoying me. Let's see. Get that out there. Let's see if that... There we go. Well, it's still tiny, mind you. No idea why you're so tiny. But the chat's back. The chat is back. Hello. Oh, did it. Did it. Woohoo. I think it's to do with the size. I think it's the size that's doing it. Have to work that out afterwards though. Right. Let's have a little... You guys got any questions for me? Archer to Haaland or Solanke to Haaland to save money for Trent later on? See, it's the fact that Solanke scored 3 against Forest that would make me a bit nervous about selling him, considering the next time he plays Forest, he's at home. So whilst West Ham doesn't look particularly great this time, around, he does then have Forest. He did score a goal against West Ham as well, you know. So I'd be somewhat tempted to do Archer to Haaland, Lloyd, and then figure out a way to Trent later on. Because anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. But I think I'd be more inclined to do that. Wow, we got... So Elder Forest just pretty much asked the same things, but asking whether to sell Watkins or Solanke for Haaland. Who's your guys' third striker then, if you don't mind me asking? If it's Tony, I'd understand, but if it's Alvarez, are you not tempted to do Alvarez to Haaland like I am? Because, I mean, again, Watkins' next one, Newcastle, doesn't look great, right? But then he has Sheffield United. Granted, he didn't do anything against Sheffield United last time, but he's got to come back into form at some point soon, right? It's these fixtures here as well, which are nice, Fulham and Forest. But if I really had to... It's the percentage owned that scares me with Watkins. Sorry, I'm just making sure the notifications pop up. I'm checking them now after what happened. So yeah, I think on form, I'd probably get rid of Watkins, but that's tough. That's a toughie. John, been a couple of weeks with red arrows, no Palmer with Salah still. Should I sell Odegaard for Eze for 1 free transfer? Odegaard for Eze. Eze's got Sheffield United this week. It's a good pick this week. Selling Odegaard though when he's just starting to do a bit better. Does the extra cash help you? I mean, Forest. Can you do that transfer a week? I guess it's because Eze has Sheffield United, right? It's just that we have Forest this week, and I could. It's going to be a tough game with Forest being at home. That's not going to be easy. But then again, yeah, I guess he hasn't exactly been smashing it out the park, has he? What does your gut say about that? Like, I'm assuming you really fancy Eze against Sheffield. John, let me know. Let me know. Oh, Archers. Is okay, Elder Forest. Is it that you can't get Archer up to Haaland? Can you find another way, maybe? Like Lloyd, potentially? I think if you can get Archer to Haaland, personally, then I think that's probably the way to go. I mean, this is where my issue is that Trent is taking up so much of my money. I'm actually really wondering whether it's worth me keeping him, which sounds insane with him having a double game week coming up. But I mean, I've got to work out whether I feel whether these kind of 8 and like these mainly these sort of 12, 13 pointers are coming back for him, or whether I'm going to be getting like 5s and 8s, which 5s and 8s are brilliant. But if selling Trent allows me a KDB in my team and a Haaland and a Salah, then, you know, it's the fact that if that became a double there, that'd be a really nice double, right? This is why I'm wondering whether I should kick that can down the road a little bit myself. So if you don't have Trent, I'd maybe worry about him in a game week or two's time if you really want him. It may be that something presents itself a bit easier. Or just roll and hope Odegaard returns. I think the thing is, John, you're going to have so much more information next week that ideally I was hoping not to have to use both my transfers today. But now with that Haaland news, I'm fairly tempted to do 2 transfers myself. So I can't be kind of like, I think if you could have 2 free transfers next year, it'd be really next week, it'd be really valuable for you. Absolutely. Saka for De Bruyne. Oh, you know, I don't hate selling Saka. I just kind of hate it this week. I don't mind losing him for Liverpool and West Ham. Burnley would be a tough watch without him. But otherwise, I really don't mind losing him after this week. But it could just be the week where he actually like pays back everyone who's kept him for weeks and weeks and weeks. Start Palmer or Garnacho. Who does Wolves? Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one. Probably. Hey, Dave. That is a toughie. That is a toughie. Probably. I mean, Garnacho has the form and the fixture, but Palmer's percentage only means that if he does anything, Palmer definitely has the tougher fixture. But then, like, he's scored against United, he's scored against City, he scored a goal and an assist against Tottenham. It's not like he's not scoring goals against big teams. He scored a goal against Arsenal. This is my worry with benching him this week. is that it's not like he's not able to get a big haul even against a good team. And let's be honest, Liverpool have just conceded 2 goals in the cup. So it's not like they're invaluable at the back. And one of those goals came while Trent was on the pitch also. So you do have to kind of bear that in mind a little bit. There's over 40 of you watching now. Thank you all so much. If you could pop a subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. It's very chilled here. You can ask any questions you want to ask, and I will try my best to answer them for you. And yeah, we just do what we do. Or Bryn. Saka, we just answered that one. To be honest though, De Bruyne is going to have, what, several games? That's if he starts though, isn't it? Ah, it's a tough one. If you could do it next, but then City have Burnley, don't they, this week? Oh, Bryn. Let me know. What do you say? Right, Gut says to do the logical thing though and get Palmer since he's been consistent, but fixtures making me want to go the other way. Yeah, I hear you. Or even Neto since he's back. Ooh. I still think you could roll, and then you'd probably get your answer on which one of those two you wanted to potentially go for. What about captaincy? Who are you going for? I mean, if Haaland's back and starting, I mean, otherwise I think I'm on Foden. Lobby724 says Haaland locked in. Bryn, 10.8. Wow. I take you sold Salah then, Bryn. 20-minute Haaland can outscore a 90-minute. Yeah, that's also very true. Thanks, Bryn. Yeah, do give that button a little tickle. Anyone who watches my videos will know that one. And there is 6 players to target video on the channel, if it's any help to you guys. There is also quite an interesting one right at the end, given what's happened this week. So do go give that a watch if there's anyone you feel. Right, let's try and figure out what I'm doing here, because, you know, time is getting slim and I am not sure what I am doing with this. Does anyone feel like it's been so long that you're just not in the right headspace to try and make decisions anymore? Because that's kind of how I feel. Mad. Right. The main man has to come in, right? And I mean, Alvarez is doing all right, but he feels like he could be like the kind of fall guy for Haaland on his return, given what happened in the cup and such, right? So Haaland comes in for Alvarez, and we have 6.1 to find. Where are we finding it? Where are we finding it? Okay, the obvious one here is Salah. And I could do, if I believe, I believe I might have enough for, no, I don't have enough for JOTA, but I do have enough for Richarlison. I don't even have enough for Diaz. Wow, that's disappointing. No. Ooh. Okay. Wow, this just got interesting. So, maybe looking at Eze myself. The problem is it just a one-time fixture? I mean, then Brighton. I'm not See, if I was a braver person, this is what I would do this week. I would go... It's not... still not going to get me to Jota, is it? But it would get me to Richarlison, right? There's always Gordon as well, I guess. He's like an easier midfielder to bench, I think, most weeks. So yeah, it would get me to Richarlison. Wouldn't get me to Jota, though. There is a little bit of me that is quite tempted to lose Trent. Is that mad? Is that mad? Okay. Let me ask you guys. I want a defender that's going to play in 26. Maybe I could go with like a Brentford. I mean, they're a bit rubbish in defence, right? But the one I really want... Ooh, hang on. No. Yes. No. No. Doherty is the one I want, but he doesn't play in 26. Does he? No, he doesn't play in 26. What if I went Walker? Ah, that would give me enough for Jota. Is it mad to sell Trent? Is it? Could I then maybe downgrade somebody like a Foden or something a bit later on, and we don't have to do the Watkins move this week. Or do we can we afford, what would that leave us? Ooh. Oh, who do I... You'd have to bench Solanke there, wouldn't you? Or Palmer, I guess, but then I don't really want to. Let's see what you guys are saying. 62% you were saying yes. John says I have Richarlison captain option 2. Lobby says get Gordon. Yeah, that's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Ali, thinking of Salah to KDB and captain Foden Nim. I'm lucky to be able to play Palmer. You are, buddy. You are. Yeah. It's true, John. I understand. I do get what you're saying. It's just that in order to get a Salah or a De Bruyne in with Haaland, of which I am going to want, I'm assuming, at some point, I'm not sure I can do it with Trent in the team. Just monetary rise. I'm just not sure it's possible unless we lose Saka, which we could do. We could just get somebody like a Gordon this week, and then next week we could. I wonder if we could next week. Add a De Bruyne. We'd have to get, well, okay, so we couldn't get Gordon. We'd have to go somebody real cheap, like a Garnacho. Is Garnacho? No, Garnacho is probably 5 mil now, isn't he? I would have thought. I've probably missed that boat, I suppose. Oh no. Okay, so I could get a Nacho in today with Haaland. This could be the way to go, guys. And we can bench Garnacho, which seems a bit nuts given you guys have just said to me, would you play him? I mean, he's done well and he's got Wolves and he's done well against Wolves recently. But I feel like because he's 5.4% owned, right, he's not really going to hurt my rank if I bench him. And then that leaves me enough in the bank to turn Saka after Nottingham Forest. Would it leave enough in the bank to put Bowen up? No, not quite. Saka to KDB. This would be 23. Who's City got next game week? Brentford and then Everton. They got some nice fixtures, and they generally. Then again, why did I just? Could I just do that this week? Can I go without? How highly owned is Saka? Oh Lord. 61.5% owned. If he does anything, that's gonna hurt bad. That's gonna be worse than Palmer, isn't it? And because it's Saka as well, which I'm an Arsenal fan, that would really hurt, right? Really, really hurt. Sorry for anyone coming in late. I'm really sorry about the chat. So if you were here early doors, my streaming software just had a complete meltdown. It just shut down on me for no reason, gave me no warning. Every screen, all 3 of my screens went completely blank. And so I've just quickly had to chuck everything back in. So for a little while we didn't have chat at all, which was quite fun. But now it's back and you can't see anything, can you, really? Which is no help to you guys. And even if I tell you what, if I maybe go and try and, I still don't think it's going to really make much of a, I mean, you're only going to get half the combo, but at least you can kind of see what's going on. So yeah, this is fun. It's fun. Yeah, tell me. Just like City have so many more fixtures, but it's then will De Bruyne play all of those fixtures? Is the question. But it does keep Trent. So it's kind of like, do I lose Saka or do I lose Trent? And Bowen, I'm telling you what, Bowen better come back to life with Kudos in the team, otherwise he is for the chopping block himself, to be honest. I mean, it's got a couple of toughy fixtures. See, if I could lose Bowen, I'd be much more inclined to do that to KDB than I would. I wonder if selling Saliba might be the way. Or even Martinez potentially, to get the extra bit of cash for De Bruyne. But it would give me another. Oh, I'm still in the 5-1 bracket. 4.5 is not bad. The problem I got at the moment as well is like I'm benching Saliba this week at the moment. So, like, do I really need... This is just like, this is a benching headache. Well, no, it's not. Garnacho is an easier bench, isn't he? No, it's fine. It's fine. Garnacho might be the way. I've just got to decide whether I take the -4 to get De Bruyne as well, I think. And then it's like, well, no, it would have to be for Saka. It would. The other way I could do it would be give Watkins Sheffield United, try roller transfer next week, go without De Bruyne for a couple of weeks, which I don't love, but go without him for 22-23, roll 23, and then get him in for either Bowen or Saka. If Bowen, I might be able to do a little -4 to get Tony in for Watkins after Sheffield United, before Man United, and then downgrade either Martinez or Saliba for the extra couple of cash, extra couple of Wonga. This is all as well assuming that Foden gets to keep his place, given we've got so many people coming back into the team and so much turnaround. So that's also another little concern of mine. I just have to hope, obviously, he gets the minutes over all these doubles. It's kind of the... Right, let's get back to your chat. You guys are saying keep Trent, so I'm going to end that poll. And I'm going to ask you, who are you captaining? Anyone else? Probably. If it's somebody other than what I've put in the poll, because it'll only let me have a set amount of choices, then let me know. Let me know who that is. Okay. Spurs blank soon as well. Yeah, that's true in terms of Richarlison. Yeah, that's the other thing. Maybe Porro could go in like a game week or two. It's a bit risky, but if I needed the extra couple of like 0.8s or something, maybe he could scap it for a week or two. Bearing in mind, I could maybe wildcard out of the first blank potentially. I'm not going to leave my wildcard anywhere near as late this time, I don't think. Where was I at? Fulham assets. Do you know what? I really like defender-wise, I really like Robinson as an option. What are their fixtures like? Ooh, yeah, they're nice, aren't they? Yeah, I really like Robinson. Robinson, I believe it. I think. Let me. The only problem is they just haven't been drawing in the clean sheets as much as they were like around. So yeah, they kind of fell off the cliff a little bit clean sheet wise. Early doors they were doing all right, but they've kind of, and it's been a little bit of time since Robertson got an attacking return as well. But I do really like him as an option. What's Andreas been up to? Not very much. It's a shame. I guess it's a shame about not knowing about Chan actually, because he was kind of the one I was kind of hoping for that kind of 5 mil spot. So yeah, I hate doing this, guys, but if you're enjoying the stream at all and you're finding it helpful, then please do pop a like and subscribe. It all really helps. I think I'm on the road to 7,200, so that'd be really cool to get to there. Had a couple more today. We're almost at 7,110, so we need 2 more. Gross to De Bruyne, then take out Alvarez for Haaland, but 0.2 short. Sub my life. Bryn, just -4 and find that 0.2, buddy. Do it. I think if we knew De Bruyne was starting, right, that would be monster. I would just do it. If I had confirmation that De Bruyne was starting this week against Burnley and Haaland starting against Burnley, then I find not doing this quite difficult. It's whether I would lose Bowen or Saka. That would be my... And knowing my luck, I'd choose the wrong one. I mean, percentage-wise, I'd lose Saka. Form-wise, to be honest, they've both been a bit rubbish, but Kudus is back for West Ham, and that does make Jared Bowen a much better asset. Hey, Static, how you doing, buddy? How's this poll doing? Haaland is winning 30%. KDB, oh, keeps changing. Foden 38%. I feel like Salah to Garnacho and Alvarez to Haaland may be the way to go, and then don't have a benching headache because I'll just stick Garnacho on the bench. And yes, if he does something, it'll hurt, but it will not hurt too much at 5.4% owned. It then gives me enough money after Sheffield United to move Saka to KDB. If I want to. It keeps Trent. It's only that wanting De Bruyne this week. I wonder if it could just be worth biting the bullet on Saka. And there's me saying earlier on I'd keep him for Forest, but it's the hit as well. I'd have to hope that De Bruyne could match Saka and better it for the hit. Which, given Saka's form of this season, it was game week 6 since we had anything more than either a goal or an assist out of Saka. Whereas De Bruyne has had like 2 20-minute appearances, of which you'd expect you would at least get that out of him for Burnley, right? And already, sorry, 1, 12, 21, I'm including the cup, sorry. And then in the Prem, he's had a goal and an assist already in just 20 minutes. And I mean, these fixtures, Burnley, Brentford, Everton, is now the time to go against the Cards and be a bit risky. De Bruyne in for Saka, bench Garnacho, Bosh. Do I do it? Would you do it? Let me know in the chat. Oh, I think because I've had a couple of weeks of red arrows after that Palmer benching, it's made me real nervous about just following my gut. And it is that thing where Forest have been better at home when they've played, but they also do ship goals, right? But they were at home to Man United and Man United got 1 past them. Can you see this? just about let me put it down a bit more. Letting one past. I mean, they're defensively, they're not falling apart, right? Oh, they did there. They let 3 in past Bournemouth at home. The goals get spread around for Arsenal as well, don't they? Oh, mate. It's big boy pants time, isn't it? I can't do it via Bowen. Annoyingly. Straight up. I'd have to take a -8 to get KDB in for Bowen. Which, if I could do Bowen to KDB, I think I'd do it. And then I would wait and see if Kudos brings Bowen back into form. And if he did, maybe then turn Saka into Bowen when his fixtures like come back to about here. But I can't do it without a... How about if I go... I'd have to lose Salah. I hope you guys enjoy me just trying to work things out here. No, it's not a formula. If I could have done that, then if I could have, like, if it was like 4.5 and it's somebody I could have easily just benched, I'd have probably done that. Knowing that Saka could become Bowen at any point. Interesting. Oh, we're one off 110 subs, guys. So if you're new, please do pop a sub. Used to have sort fancy graphics when subscribers subbed to the channel, but the plugin that I used to use has decided to like charge a ridiculous amount of money for premium in order for that to happen. And so now sometimes it happens and it works, and then other times it doesn't. So I apologise for that. I will try and find a way to update you guys on who's subbing and just to say thank you. I know that a lot of the other guys use slightly different software to me. So the fact that they do that means that they've still got their kind of bits and pieces, like their graphics and stuff, working for that. Right, what have we got? 40% on Foden, still, even with the Haaland news. Interesting. 30 on Haaland, 25 on KDB, and 4% on JOTA. Thanks, Static. I'm alright. Another course of antibiotics, but I'm doing good. Thank you. KDB in my team. I'm tempted to select Haaland as well. Oh, if you can get both in, buddy, that's pretty cool. Midnight Mule, how you doing, buddy? Saka is owned by 80% of owners at risk, so a Saka haul would be yeah, it would hurt more than Palmer, right? Saka to De Bruyne and Alvarez to Haaland, -4. Not sure, both might not start. Roll, I think. It's time for Spurs, Kev. Elise versus Matt. I like it, but my worry is that the Crystal Palace pick is a 1 week pick. It really is just a 1 week pick, I think. I mean, if you're happy with that, if you got an extra transfer and you want to see how they do and then decide whether or not you want to move them on afterwards, it's just that I think at this point in the season you're trying your best to kind of maybe edge your bets across a couple of game weeks and not kind of get sucked into it only being like used for a couple of game weeks, especially with so little transfers and with so many blanks coming up and stuff like that. You want to kind of leave yourself in as strong a position as possible, right? So, yeah. So I think my kind of options, guys, are losing Trent, getting De Bruyne, and how highly owned is 20% compared to like a Saliba? And then a Superman? I mean, what I'd really love to be doing this week with my 2 free transfers would be taking Gusto out since he blanks. But alas, Haaland and City have decided to you know, put a bit of a spanner in the works there. So it's this for a -4, which would be Alvarez out for Haaland, Salah out for De Bruyne, and losing Trent for somebody. I'm not sure who. Maybe like, I don't know, Rico Lewis. No, I'd have Free City, I'm just joking. But like somebody 4.5 or less, maybe a Brentford defender since they play all of those games. You guys really didn't like the idea of me selling Trent, so the other option is to go without De Bruyne this week, go in with Haaland and Foden, buy Garnacho for Salah with my 2 free transfers, and then next week leave money in the bank to turn one of Saka, Foden and Bowen into De Bruyne if I want him, or even, you know, maybe another week or 2 down the line, depending on how we go. Might be able to like free up some cash as we go along as well, to turn one of Bowen, Palmer and Saka into De Bruyne for that kind of double non-blank that he has in 26. So plays 25 and plays in 26. This is where you want to use your free hit, guys, in game week 29 at the moment. So that's why I'm trying to cover as much of 25 and 26. Obviously, I'm losing Salah, but I may turn Bowen into JOTA if Salah isn't back. The other option is potentially Watkins to Darwin. I can't even believe I've just said that, but yeah, it could be like Watkins to Darwin, or I just kind of say, right, Trent is potentially enough for Liverpool if there's no Salah, and think about it. I mean, this feels the more sensible move, but it's not very exciting. Oh, it doesn't feel very exciting. I don't want to take a -8 this week, but I would love De Bruyne. I would absolutely love. I'm not getting De Bruyne for Salah with Haaland without selling Trent. That's the problem I've got. That is the problem I've got. $3.9. Oh, where can I find the money? I can't even take it out of like Palmer, and I can't even take it out of Boeing because 4 million's not enough. Right, I'm gonna end the captaincy poll. 40% for Foden, 34% for Haaland, 20% for KDB, for Jota. Worryingly, that's quite a high percentage for KDB, which makes me feel like I need to own him. Yeah, so that is a concern, given how many of you are considering captaining him. Not owning him is a worry. Nim, are you going to take a -4 or -8 hit? Which are you trying to? At the moment, buddy, if I was to sell Trent, it would just be a -4. So that's how that would look. Can you? Hopefully, you can see that. Yeah. But most people are telling me don't sell Trent, that I would regret it. Which, losing to Liverpool when the double potentially gets announced could be a hurt. But then I feel like I'm gonna have to choose between Trent or Salah at some point, or De Bruyne at some point anyway, because I cannot afford Haaland, De Bruyne and Salah / Trent in my team anyway. And that is even without Son coming into the picture at the moment. So he could go and I could just kind of bite the bullet. I feel like I'd be happier to lose Trent than I would Saka at this point, because I feel like Saka can become a Liverpool mid for that double. And Trent isn't massively owned. I mean, 20% owned is high, but it's not stupid high. That said, what I'm thinking of doing is just playing it a bit safe, buddy, and not taking any hit this week, and just doing Garnacho in for Salah and Haaland in for Alvarez, which gives me much less of a benching headache. It does mean going without De Bruyne, unless I take a -4 hit to turn Saka into De Bruyne this week. Bearing in mind, as an Arsenal fan, that is the only fixture on telly tonight, the Arsenal match. Oh no, sorry, the Aston Villa Newcastle. So it's the only fixture on. No, there is a Villa Newcastle match, but I'll be watching the Arsenal match. So, do I really want to sell? Do I really want to sell Saka ahead of that? Just don't want to go without De Bruyne. Oh gosh. Right, I'm gonna wrap this up. Let's wrap it up, I think. Did you guys have any? That's okay. Yeah, it's quite annoying. Did you guys have any thoughts on my dilemma before I leave? Which way what would you do with this team this week? Let me reset it. If you were me, just one last kind of shove it in the chat. If you were me, what would you do with this team? Bearing in mind, this is at the moment how it's lined up, with Saliba on the bench, which I'm not loving, but especially as I think Chelsea might score. But that's how I'm currently, and I've got 2 free transfers, so I may as well make a transfer. So let me know, what would you do with this team? I just see if we can get any more news for you guys. Just make sure I haven't missed any. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, I know. I feel your pain, Neil. I feel your pain. Honestly. It's so hard. I think we have to sell Alvarez for Haaland. I think we have to. If Villa's fixtures weren't so great. If Watkins didn't have that Sheffield United fixture next week, I'd be far more tempted to ship him. But I think I'm going to give him Sheffield United, and I think if he doesn't do well there, then he'll be an easy sell to Tony for me. I'm pretty sure of that. Or even back to Alvarez. One of those two, because they will play, but it's just then whether I want to have De Bruyne and Foden in together. So yeah. Right, okay. Try. Is he not taking any hits, Static? That's fair. Okay, guys, thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the little glitch there at the beginning. So if you were here OGing it, thank you for sticking with. The kind of main takeaway is that Pep has said that for the first time Haaland is available and that his squad is fit. Even John Stones, I think, is back. So it does very much look like Haaland could be involved this week. And that's not ruling out a start for KDB either. So that's kind of the main takeaway. And for anyone with gusto like me, apparently, he is potentially in contention for a start against Liverpool. Not that you necessarily want to play him, but you know, if you need to. And I think that's kind of the main takeaways. I don't think there's anything else that's kind of cropped up. We should know tonight about Chan returning. Kudos is back for West Ham, which hopefully makes Bowen more of an option. I think if you can lose anyone out of your front three for Haaland, it'd be Alvarez or Archer if you get there, which a few people can, I think, because they're selling Salah. And yeah, hopefully that has helped you guys. And I hope you have a great evening. Enjoy the football. It's great to have it back. And I will, hopefully, I'll be doing an Ultimate Champion stream on Thursday, all being well. And if everything's good and I'm feeling good, then there'll also be another deadline, well, a locked-in stream on Friday for you guys around this sort of time. Always around the kind of 2:30 to 3 for me. I kind of usually slot in between after Holly Shan's stream and before the big guns go. So hopefully see you then. I hope you have an amazing night. Catch up with you soon. Nymphrya out.